Hi guys, nice to see you again. Today we're going to look at the first and the second part of the exercise. It's the revision on page 78 of your Platinum textbook. If you haven't got your textbook or your workbook, that's fine. You can still work along with us. I'm going to display what we need on the screen. So the first exercise asks you to copy sentences into your book and to complete the sentences with a suitable predicate. So remember, the subject of the sentence is who or what does the action, and the predicate is everything else remaining in the sentence. So if we were to cut out the subject, whatever is left over, we call the predicate. So they've given us, have they given us the subject or the predicate? They've given us the subject, and they're asking us to fill in a predicate. Good. So I would like to ask you now to please underline or put a bracket underneath the subject of each of those sentences, and to please label it as the subject so that later on when you're going back through your work, you'll remember what you've done. So the whole class, Mrs. Smith, the enormous pizza, those are the subjects of the sentence who are going to do an action. Good. Then you're going to complete the sentence. I've done an example for you. You can take down my example if you want an additional example. I said the whole class raced across the field, full stop. Good. And you're also going to take color or a pencil and underline or put a bracket underneath and label that as the predicate. Predicate, the predicate. Good. And you're going to make sure you do the same for all three sentences. Make sure you start with a capital and end off with a full stop or an exclamation mark, or whatever it happens to need. Good. The next thing that you need to do for number 2 is copy the sentences into your book and then underline the object. See, they could ask you to do anything with a sentence. They could ask you to find the verb, identify parts of speech, identify the predicate, identify the object. So you just need to read each instruction very carefully and make sure that you only stick to doing what they ask you to. All right. So the first one, the naughty child threw his toy truck out of the window. Now, if we look at the sentence, sometimes it's hard to find the object because we might see a few words that could be an object of a sentence. So it could be toy or truck, or toy truck or window. We don't look at individual words, but we see what the words are doing in the sentence, what job they are doing, what role they're fulfilling. So sometimes it's easy to look first of all for the verb. The verb in the sentence is threw. Okay. So we're going to see the naughty child threw what? If you said threw his toy, the sentence would change its meaning, right? If you said the naughty child threw his truck, it would change the meaning too, because that could mean a huge truck out the window. If you said the naughty child through the window, no, that sentence wouldn't make much sense. So his toy truck is the object that's being acted upon. The child is doing something to which object? His toy truck. All right, let's look at B. B was a little bit tricky. I wonder if we've caught anybody out with this one, or if you've managed to find the problem. All right, let's look. We have a subject. The subject is my brother. Right, so you include my and brother in the subject. There is a verb. Can you see it? Okay, the verb is the word is. That's right. And there is a word upstairs, but here's the tricky thing. Upstairs is not the object in the sentence. That's why it's important to know. You can't just learn off by heart that the first few words are the subject and then comes the verb and then comes the object. It doesn't really work that way. Upstairs is not, there's nothing being done to upstairs. So upstairs is not the object of the sentence. In fact, in the sentence, there is no object. Right, so the moral of the story is a sentence doesn't have to have an object. All right, good. Let's look at C. The boy kicked the ball. All right, so this sentence is probably the most straightforward example you can get. So if you can understand this sentence, then you'll be able to figure out others. So let's quickly look at it. The boy would be the subject. He's doing an action, kicked. And what did he kick? The ball. All right, see how I've included the along with ball? Good. Let's see, maybe D will be easier. I ate the last chocolate. Right. I is the subject. The verb is ate. And what did I eat? Did I eat the Did I eat the last? Did I just eat the chocolate? I ate the last chocolate. So that is the object of the sentence. See how the object could be one or more words. It's just whatever it is that's being acted upon. All right, good. I want to quickly to take a color, and I'd like you to please identify the verbs as I have done. You can either do that with a highlighter and then label them underneath, or you can just choose a color and brackets. So in the first sentence, the verb was through. The second sentence, the verb is, am, are always verbs. Good. Kicked, it doesn't matter the tense, by the way. If I said kick or kicked or kicks or kicking, as long as it's the action in the sentence, it's the verb, doesn't matter the tense. And ate is the last verb. And I want to just quickly show you. If you need to find the object, you need to see the action or the verb. Who or what am I doing the action to? So here, I threw. What did he throw? His toy truck. Here is, you can see he's not doing, is a being. So if you, my brother is, I am, they are, they're not doing anything, they're just being, so there's no object. I've just put an arrow pointing up because I'm not acting upon anything, I'm just being. Kicked. I'm acting on something. What am I kicking? Am I kicking the boy? No, I'm kicking the ball. So that is the object. And I ate the last chocolate. I'm eating. What am I eating or acting upon? I'm eating or acting upon the last chocolate. Good. So here's a little summary. If you want to write this down as a note, it might help you later on when you're studying to remember about the subject and the predicate. So sentences can be divided into subject and a predicate. So quickly let's revise. The subject, who or what the sentence is about. So that is who or what the action, who or what is doing the action. So to find the subject, I always ask who or what is doing the verb. The predicate is the rest of the sentence, excluding the subject. So the only reason we divide a sentence into subject and predicate is to have a closer look. So it's almost like we want to have a closer look at the subject and then we want to have a closer look at the rest of the sentence. So we divide the sentence into two parts. Okay. Then part of the predicate is a group of words which we call the object. So the object is the thing that's being acted upon. Not all predicates contain an object. So that means every sentence will have a subject and a verb. Okay. But not all sentences have an object. So for example, the sentence I am. That will be the subject of the sentence. And am is a verb. But that am shows that I'm just existing or being and I'm not acting upon anything. So therefore, that sentence does not have an object. All right. So that was subjects and predicates, and I hope it's starting to become clear. If you make mistakes here and there, it's not the end of the world, as long as you have an idea that the subject is the main part of the sentence, tells us who is going to do the action, and that the predicate is the rest of the sentence. Okay, good. So next time we're going to look at the verbs on page 78. There's a little exercise.